But no, man, because she went after Wienergate too. She went after Anthony Weiner with the same fury and fire. So the motivation here is not political whatsoever with this group. That I'm honored to know, by the way. And I learned some stuff about their background and their childhood and stuff reading this book. It's fascinating. It really is. It's really interesting reading a book about people that are friends of yours, that are, I'm kind of disappointed I wasn't mentioned in the book. They could have thrown me in there. I don't see why not. Kind of disappointed, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? My time will come. As a matter of fact, we got some big developments going on here in the background. Well, the guys with the TV show are saying that, like it's in the bag. We're going to know something will be all set up by March. So let's see what happens. You can't get your hopes up on these kind of things, but I think it would be a benefit. And then I'm talking to these other guys about producing the radio show. But it would be financially good, It would be successful. We'd have access to really big names and big guests and stuff like that. But I think that they would put a cap on my reporting, definitely about Trump. There's a lot of things. They may even might demand that I remove certain things from the archives. That could be considered defamation and libelous. That stuff I know that I really sometimes it's stuff that you can't really back up 100%. Things or speculations I've made and stuff like that. Or guests come on the show and say things. When this was a small show, I'm on in 39 cities, AM/FM radio now. But back when we were just on the internet, just on one or two little internet stations, you can kind of say, well, I'm under the radar. I'm flying under the radar here. I can kind of say a few things here and get away with it, Now I got to be way more careful. Because you have no idea, man, some of the headaches that go on behind the scenes. I had this guy calling me up last night screaming at me about a previous guest that I had on the show. And these are all legit guys involved with legit stuff, big stories. And I've seen some of the reports and stuff like that off the air, really serious stuff, involved in big cases that are in the news right now with major celebrities. But these two guys got some kind of beef with each other. And the other guy calls me up screaming at me. I'm organized crime. He's telling me. I'm going to the FBI. I'm going to the tabloids. I'm going to a lawsuit. But I want to come on your show, too. I said, okay, you're selling your story to the tabloids. You're going to the FBI. You're filing a lawsuit. But you want to come on my show. Okay. All right, man. Okay, let's do it. But I don't want to get into the middle of beef with these two guys. Because one guy I happen to like, and I have a lot of respect for him. The other guy I just met him. All he did was scream at me. But let's see what happens with all that. So once again, I can't recommend enough to you this book, The Fixers, Bottom Feeders, Crooked Lawyers, Gossip Mongers, and Porn Stars Who Created the 45th President. Excellent. Really. It's about tabloids and tabloid characters, but it's written by professional or investigative reporters. Oh, by the way, it turns out these two guys were on to all this. These are the guys who they hunted down Keith. They found him. These are the guys who put the whole reporting together on those stories. And, it has Tom Arnold in there, man. It's all, what a cast of characters, man, we have going on around us here, And just think, man, there would be a time, just this kind of hysteria and this craziness and this chaos around the office of the presidency. With some of these wild tweets this guy's writing, that would be enough to impeach. Forget that we have to, we're dealing with a situation where, he's withholding aid to a country, that's at war, an ally that's at war. And he's withholding military aid to them in order to get them to do a press conference saying that they're investigating his political opponent, Joe Biden. Just fascinating. And then he ignores all the subpoenas. He won't provide witnesses. He takes things he classifies as top secret, And where there's some kind of an argument that this is somehow acceptable. I'm an old man. I'm 57 years old. 20 years ago, this would have been just the tweets alone would have got the guy kicked out. They wouldn't tolerate with that. The guy's unstable, but he says he's a stable genius. And I got to tell you, he might be onto something there. He might be a stable genius. We might have to end tonight's show early, even though I do seem to be on fire. My first cup of coffee. I'm doing this at 7 o'clock in the morning. I got to run out now. I got to be there by 8 o'clock. Damn, I better get moving. I got to be there by 8 o'clock to put the wiring in the back of my car for the brake lights when you're towing a trailer, so the lights go on, you step on a brake and the lights on the trailer go off. So I got to have that wiring installed. Then I got a friend of mine coming down to help me pack. And then I'm hitting the road tomorrow morning. Got a guy come and help me move, pack the truck, pack the trailer, and then hitting the road. I should be in New Mexico by tomorrow, 5 p.m. in time to play the shows for you. So exactly, that's how dedicated I am to this, okay? Is that I go to all this trouble to, I'm going to stop at a motel so I can get the show playing for you at 5 o'clock. One last thing I want to talk about. I got to talk about this Hoffenberg stuff, though. So I guess what I'll do is I'll run out and get the car done, and then come back before I pick up my friend to help me pack, and I'll fill up the last half hour. But I want to talk about my contact lenses real quick, okay?